Very good morning, dear friends around the world. Today, I'm going to share with you the second book of 2019 I have completed, The Blue Sweater. It is actually an inspirational journey of a wonderful woman named Jacqueline Novogratz. Jacqueline Novogratz, an introduction I would like to share from the first page of the book, which is written quite beautifully, concise one to know about the writer. And then I'm going to share with you 50 learning from this book, what I have received. There are too many. Once I completed it, I was going through it again. And let me tell you that a person can speak on this book for hours and hours. And once you read the book, you feel like to be in Africa, you feel like to be in New York. You see yourself traveling in the villages of India and Pakistan, and you find yourself to be in Stanford and Harvard. It is really amazing. Well, let me start with the introduction of the writer, and then we go towards what I have learned, what I have taken out from this book. Jacqueline Novogratz is the founder and CEO of Acumen Fund, non-profit venture capital firm that invests in entrepreneurs bringing affordable and sustainable healthcare, water, energy, and housing to low-income communities in the developing world. Jacqueline has led the Acumen Fund team since its launch in 2001. Under her leadership, Acumen Fund has invested $40 million in 44 enterprises, serving over 30 million low-income customers in South Asia and East Africa as of February 2010. Jacqueline currently serves on the board of the Aspen Institute as well as the advisory councils of Stanford Graduate School of Business and MIT's Legatum Center. She is an Aspen Institute Henry Crown Fellow, a Synergos Institute Senior Fellow, and has received honors including Ernst & Young's 2008 Entrepreneur of the Year Award, the 2009 Case Leadership in Social Entrepreneurship Award, and AWNY's 2009 Changing the Game Award, and too many other awards, and she deserves a lot more than that. Jacqueline is a frequent speaker at international conferences, including the World Economic Forum, the Clinton Global Initiative, and TED. Jacqueline has an MBA from Stanford and a BA in Economics International Relations from the University of Virginia. So more you want to know about Jacqueline, you may Google about her and you can see that who she is and what she has been doing. And I would highly recommend you to all to read this book, and the points I'm going to share, they are only a few. You can take out a lot from this book and share with us all. So before I start the learning, I would like to share few of my observations as I have seen Jacqueline. In few meetings as well as while listening, few of the points what I noticed about her I would like to share. as a as an observer, that how did I see her? A person full of life. Jacqueline, when you see her, you feel that you're observing a person full of life, very lively, very beautiful, the way she speaks, the way she treats everyone, the way she behaves with everyone. You just feel like having a complete life. That the person is having a personality, which speaks about beautiful life. Quite thoughtful person, a person who speaks wisdom, I would say, because the journeys she had and she's having, they are full of experiences, full of learning. They definitely give you a brain which does not only become thought provoking, but it becomes, with something that even when a person looks at the person while she is speaking or quiet, you feel like, having some excellent kind of energies coming to you from the person. Very curious and caring, listens everything very, attentively, very carefully, and very seriously. You feel like to share what you are telling her, and you like to discuss more because she likes to listen. She likes Asian costumes. As many times I have seen her, she likes to wear, the bright colors, Asian jewelry, especially mostly the women use in India and Pakistan. I attended her Good Society reading where you get a chance to speak how do you see the readings, the writers, and the discussion goes on, and she is the one who does not only moderate but gives you new directions to even think about. A person who has an amazing journey herself loves that people should have their own journey. They should challenge the problems of the world. They should be an active part of solving problems, creating poverty in our world. And they should learn through reading as well. She deals deep questions in simple way. As I earlier said, she listens and then listens very carefully, and after she answers in such a beautiful way, such an easy way, such a simple way that a common person can understand what she wants to make us understand. A superb moderator, as I said, had a chance to attend her Good Society reading sessions. She's a wonderful moderator who knows that everyone should have a chance to speak while we are in a group, in even bigger groups, and to motivate those who are not speaking or who are not participating actively. Having an international vision. Some people are born with the qualities to think quite big. Excuse me. And some are there to think even bigger than that. I call her a lady with an international vision where she wants to see the world a peaceful and prosperous place. She believes in systematic change, having scientific approach through which she wants to defeat the poverty. Now this is something what really inspires me, that having motivation, having courage, having patience, having motivation to struggle, and apart from that, continuously having such kind of approach, scientific and academic approach, that can really brings that can really bring excellent results. I would say the best one can understand even more about Jacqueline is by reading The Blue Sweater. What is The Blue Sweater? Blue Sweater is a story, starts from one of the most favorite sweater of Jacqueline, which she loved the most but then had to give away. And once she is traveling Africa, she finds it there worn by a boy, and how the things take turn. A sweater she used in America, and then it travels to another continent of the world, and she finds it worn by a person, by a boy, a teenager, whom she stops to check, and then her story goes on. I wouldn't go more in detail of this title, but I would highly recommend you to read this small book, a beautiful book written by Jacqueline, talks about not only her journey, but I say the journey of many others who are connected with her, and a journey which is highly successful in reducing the poverty and giving the better lives to millions of people around the world. Coming to my learning from the Blue Sweater, from Jacqueline through this book, I have divided it in 50 points, I know, but I will try to go through them quite quickly, because 50 points you need time to share, but I would try my best that how I can complete them quickly. But they are very interesting. Each point, even if I like to speak, I can speak a lot and share a lot with you. How did I feel it? Number one, journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. When we start our life, and when we think to start something, every time things come in mind, whether we'll be successful or not. Jacqueline gives a great kind of hope, great kind of motivation here, where she talks about that the journey of 1,000 miles start with the first step. The only first step is the hardest one, remaining are just after that first step and things are keep going, you have to take that first step. And we have to make ourselves mentally prepared to take that step. This is you who has to take the step. And taking first step may not bring the success, but it brings a lot of courage where we feel that we have started a mission. Number 2, think big to do big. A teenager who has graduated from university and thinks to change the world. There is no limitation on your dreams. There is no border on your thoughts. So a learning is there that think big. Now how big do you think? How big do you think depends on how big do you want. And this learning is very smart one, very much inspirational for me, that sometimes, especially in our culture, it is something when you talk about something very big, you get a lot of people to criticize you that, oh, it is not possible, or it is just can be only a talk, it can be only a dream, not the reality. But Jacqueline tells you that you can think big and you can really do bigger than that. Point number 3, physical age doesn't matter when brain is older. Sometimes we see the people around us who have grown up physically but still needs a lot of time to grow up mentally. Jacqueline, in her 20s, leaves USA, goes to Africa, and works and leads the people a lot older than her in age, give you a lot of strength that you may be younger in age, but if you are really capable of doing things, you can lead the world. Because this world needs solutions. This world needs the real leaders. This world needs the people who can bring prosperity. This world needs the fighters against poverty. And Jacqueline, as a young girl, proves it there in Africa that when she can do it, anyone else can do it. Learning number 4, leaving comfort zone in following the dreams. We all love to have the comfort zone. We like to have our own house. We feel great in our own room. We feel more happy, more comfortable in our own city, in our own country. On the other hand side, there are these two words. You just take it as a one word, comfort zone. Everybody loves it. But we learn here through the blue sweater that The real journey starts when you leave that comfort zone. Because the comfort zone may let you grow slowly, somehow, but leaving that comfort zone brings a lot of tests, a lot of new learning, a lot of new challenges for you. So, leaving own house, own family, a well paid job in own country, and reaching to Africa to explore and to learn and to change the world is something amazing. Personally, to me, really amazing that the one who only likes to live in comfort zone may have a relaxing life but cannot have the learning a person can have after leaving that comfort zone. Learning number 5, eradication of poverty through entrepreneurship and women empowerment. When we talk about the poverty, we'll see different organizations working around the world, charity organizations contributing on their level best. Jacqueline gives an innovative kind of way of eradicating poverty, where she introduces social entrepreneurship, where she tells that how it can grow and change the lives of people. The charity given may bring a relief for temporary basis, but cannot have long sustaining, self-sustaining mechanism, which means the amount of charity ends and you are back again on the same position with no further plans, with no sustainability. So, a theme, an idea, a practical approach of social entrepreneurship gives us, a great hope to this world that how we can even change the world, how we can fight against the poverty, how we can bring the prosperity to this world. And in the blue sweater, she shares about a lot of initiatives taken place in Africa, from Africa to India, India to Pakistan. She talks about her experiences, how to invest in health and how to invest in the construction, low budget houses, and so on, including that beautiful bakery she started with the African women. It's all amazing. Women empowerment for eradication of poverty, another very interesting learning comes out of this book. More the women empowered, less the poverty. More the women empowered, more the prosperity for the families. So beautiful. And There you see the lives of African women, Indian women, and the Pakistani women who how feel the great change by taking part from small initiatives. Even when she talks about starting women bank, microfinance bank in Africa, or she talks about investing in small businesses in the other areas, and then we read the results, that how the businesses grow, how those women are becoming entrepreneurs, how they are getting empowered, how they are not only changing their own lives but the lives of their family and the families connected with them. Really amazing. As I said earlier, and I'm repeating again, the more you can come to know, more you can enjoy it while you are reading the book, because you have a lot of stories by Jacqueline, her experiences, how did she start investing, how did she build the Acumen Fund, and how the things went on. Another very interesting learning for me, which is really very helpful, especially for the females, when I talk about many of the questions or you know requests come to me for making parents understand. A lot of females, a lot of girls, they come with this request that please do convince our parents. They are not understanding, or we are not quite confident to tell them what we really want, especially in the terms of education, the terms of job, in the terms of studying in the universities far from their living, or even out of country. I have a learning where I see Jacqueline convincing her parents that why does she want to go for job, go for work in Africa. It gives you, a convincing power that when your vision is clear, when you are a committed person, when you know that what are your dreams and what you really want to do, then this all power becomes, your confidence. Confidence is not something that comes from nowhere. Confidence is actually integrated formula which comes through your commitment, through your clear vision, through your determination, and then your strong belief that is in you, that you are really ready to do it. So I would really say to, it's a message for all the females of the world, especially the Asian countries where this problem is more, that it is little harder to convince the parents for the females what they really want to do. But I'm telling you that when Jacqueline can convince her parents, then each and every girl can definitely convince their parents what they really want to have, what they really want to do in their lives. But as I earlier said, you have to be first of all very much clear what you really want to do. And then you have to be having the determination and commitment to do it. So it's a wonderful one for everyone, a beautiful learning for me as well. And it's not bound to only the females. The male can also have, learning from this, that if you feel the difficulty to convince your parents on any matter, you may also use it, you may learn from it, and you may apply in your lives. Number 7, learning is to remove poverty, more opportunities are needed. When we talk about that, poverty needs to be removed, it needs to be erased, it needs to be deleted, it needs to be ended, it needs to be finished. So we have to understand that to do it, we need to increase the number of opportunities. More the opportunities, more people's engagement, more people working jobs in different areas means more earning, more economic growth, economic power. So now we need to understand this thing, that we cannot only sit, wait, and depend on the government to only increase the opportunities. All those people who feel and who see that they can create the opportunities, they must work on it. They can be people like Jacqueline, not belonging to a business family, but coming out and then creating opportunities for the millions of people. They can be people from business communities. They can be people who may be having a lot of wealth, a lot of ideas. So everyone have to come together to create more and more opportunities, so a better society can be created, a prosperous society can be created, and the mission can be continued. Connectivity. Learning number 8, connectivity. That blue sweater travels from comes to Rwanda. Now its journey from US to Africa, Rwanda, gives a learning of connectivity, that the world is interconnected. We all are interconnected. And this interconnectivity, how much can help in solving problems. In the world, there are some countries socially, economically, politically more stable than many other countries. Some countries, they are far wealthier than many other countries, a lot more developed than many countries. So this interconnectiveness can help us in reducing the gap. A learning for me here is connectivity. How this interconnectiveness can help us in solving many problems. How this sharing of wealth can help us in making this connectivity even better. So, very beautiful learning, that connectivity, we make the more privileged ones realize that there is responsibility of sharing, because from childhood We are being taught by our parents and teachers sharing is caring. And we must use it, we must understand it in the better way, we must utilize it when we grow up and we are in the position to take the decisions. Point number 9, learning number 9, more given by God means more expected from you. See, when we are being given something more than others, rather than sit down and just feel proud of it or feel that we are better than others, we must understand that the Creator wants, He expects more from us. So the learning for me is there that we must be physically, mentally well prepared with this thing, that the Creator, whether He has given us more knowledge, He has given us better health, He has given us a life in a developed country, having no wars, a country having no drought, a country having good economy or prosperity. So then we are being with the more responsibility, and we need to be prepared, we need to be ready for that the Creator must expect more from us because we are being blessed more. Number 10, it is truthfulness. Truthfulness, a learning very interesting. When Jacqueline goes for the first interview to be a banker and being asked by the interviewer a question that, do you really want to be a banker? And the answer comes that I want to change the world. Now that is, the inner voice comes out. So you see that truthfulness with your vision, with your dream. It might not be, I call it that, a vision at that time, but at that time it is a dream of changing the world, which got the maturity and then turned to be a very clear vision. Truthfulness is very important and very beautiful, very much required before we start any mission. And I just appreciate that interviewer as well, who felt that truthfulness and made Jacqueline understand that how this opportunity can help her to change the world. Number 11, it was the fortune in the shape of interviewer. Sometimes fate, helps you like this, even you don't understand what is there for you, as it happens with the Jacqueline when she goes for interview and she tells that because family push is there, she appears in that interview, but she tells that quite truthfully that I want to change the world. But the banker sitting there is actually her fortune at that time, good luck, who does not refuse her right away on her answer, but makes her understand that how that bank job can help her to go around more than 40 countries and give her a chance to learn so she can really change the world. So, this is something very interesting, very important, that sometimes your good luck is around you, is around us, but we are unable to understand. But those who understand it, definitely it becomes their power, it becomes their strength. Learning number 12, learning through traveling and meeting people from different countries. It's very interesting, very close to my heart actually, because I love traveling too. And when you see Jacqueline traveling, meeting different people, meeting people with a lot of experience, meeting people from the politics of different countries, meeting social change makers, meeting youngsters with amazing ideas, meeting people who may be very dangerous, coming across being attacked, and so on. A lot of learning, full of learning. Traveling is a greatest source of learning, and sometimes, to me, the best source of learning. Number 13, listening to the more experienced people grows you mentally. This is so beautiful that listening itself is a greatest skill. And when we are listening to the people from different continents, people who have more experience than us, people who have more learning than us, better exposure than us, different exposure than us. So it is always nice to listen to them and learn from their experiences. listening, we find Jacqueline is a very good listener through the blue sweater, that she listens to the people, whether they are the community leaders or they are the community members or they are the professors or they are the presidents of foundations or they are the drivers of her vehicle. She listens, and that listening process helped her a lot for deciding, for decision making, for further planning. So listening is one of the best learning we have here from the blue sweater. Number 14, you get a very interesting learning here. It is not must that everyone like you. Yeah, of course, in life it is not like that everyone should like us. Everyone may not like us, but we have to also be prepared with this thing, that whether someone likes us or do not like us, we have to continue our journey. We do not need to sit and wait that all people should like us. And we see in the story of Jacqueline as well that there are different kind of people who may not like her, who may not welcome you in their world, who may not feel happy to welcome you, to have you. but you do not need this because it can to be a weakness if you just feel like that everyone must like me. Number 15, it is a good learning that in Africa, in many other countries, and even I would say Pakistan and India, this is this used to be very common, but now the things are changing. That the women was considered minor mentally, that women cannot think as the man thinks, as the better man can think, as the best man can think, as the creatively man can think, as genius the man is. So the learning here from Jacqueline from this blue sweater is that she proves not through herself but the character she shares from Africa that women have even more power, more mental power to bring the changes. And it all happens practically, it all happens through the investment in women, bringing them financially strong, making them social entrepreneurs, investing in them. So needs to become that women is weaker than men mentally, and I'm convinced. I really enjoyed it. Learning number 16, women are the best entrepreneurs, businesswomen if the opportunities are given. And I say that this learning is there only when I see the business side, but also we see women are more better contributors when we talk about every other field. It's the management side, it's the office side. You find women more efficient. You find women more productive. You find women more responsible. So it's all about opportunities, chances, trust given in women. Number 17, it was very interesting about the first accounts for women in these African countries, like she was in Rwanda, Kenya, and other countries. More women empowerment, more confidence for the family, and more prosperity for the family is not only in the benefit of women but equally beneficial for the man. In different societies where the men are, you know, responsible for each and every financial matter, somehow they are in power, but on the other hand side they are also having a lot of problems. I believe that sharing of this burden can be productive, where men and women can even work together, they can share the power, they can share this thing called wealth, work, and together they can use their mental forces for developing new ideas, for taking many initiatives together. So that division of power actually helps in the division of responsibilities, the division of stress, the division of, you know, family pressure. So we must take it positively and have the more and more, utility of it. Point number 18: strength, courage, confidence by every experience. Very interesting learning that experience is not something comes from nowhere. Experience is something what comes from a lot of things we do in our life. Now it depends we how much we invest and what way do we invest. Now when we talk about strength, how much strength we add to our life. Strength through learning, strength through traveling, strength through investing, strength through sharing, and so on. Courage, how courageous we are, how we can break that comfort zone, how we can leave that comfort zone and we can go on. Confidence, how we say that we are the initiators, we are the makers, we are the dreamers, we are the lovers, we are the change makers. Now these all things bring experience with them. And that experience makes us enriched. That experience makes us strong. It becomes, altogether an integrated form of strength which lies within us and which helps us to do bigger than the things we really want to do. Number 19, learning of languages. It's so beautiful, and see, language has its own power. If you are traveling somewhere in Africa and you speak some of the words of their language, so it really makes them happy. For example, I had a chance to travel different countries like Portugal, Kenya, Malaysia, Thailand, Oman, and so on. Whenever you use some words from their language, the language of indigenous people, they feel very happy. They feel, that you love them because you love their language. So, a learning from Jacqueline here, when she's there in Africa, the countries like Rwanda remained the French colonies. So she tries to speak French, she tries to improve her spoken French, she even tries to speak their African language as well, tries to learn it. So I believe that learning languages is very beautiful thing. Sometime when we are traveling, when we are living in the new world, living in the new country, with the people of new language, it is one of the source make us, bring us closer to them by learning their language. Number 20, how to succeed dawn to midnight. Here we learn from Jacqueline about hard work, that how much do we need to put to achieve our vision. Because once the vision is clear, mission is there, there's need of determination, hard work with strong commitment that we learn from the blue sweater. 21. Facing the hardships of weather and deadly diseases. In life, when we are looking for the great vision, when we are looking for something very big, so many difficulties, many hardships comes. Like we see when Jacqueline is there, she suffers from malaria and she suffers sometime like diarrhea and other common diseases she see while in Africa, but she does not leave. She does not surrender. She does not give up and continues. And that continuity gives us, sense that how sincere, how strong, how committed, how determined she is there with her mission, and how strong she is to achieve her vision. Quite inspiring and motivating. Number 22, we see the resilience. As I said, this was a learning there where we see Jacqueline as the person who is not to give up whether she is not feeling well. Excuse me. Or who suffers from deadly diseases, but resilience is there. Sometimes I call it that this resilience is by birth, and remaining you have to develop in you. We read in the blue sweater, Jacqueline's father was serving in army, in US Army. So something, is inherited from there too. And remaining a lot is developed. So that resilience is there. She's a resilient person. Sometimes in life, to achieve your targets, to achieve your vision, you have to be a resilient one. You have to, have that power to fight for what you really want. So we have to develop that thing. So I feel it, how important the factor of resilient personality, it can be important for the life of a person struggling for great things. Point number 23, the jealousy of people. Earlier shared as well, it is not important that everyone must like us. So the jealousy of people can be dangerous. Yes, jealousy, people, you can have the people around you who can be jealous from you because they cannot do what you are doing. They cannot actually have such kind of courage, such kind of strength, such kind of confidence to do what you are doing. So when they cannot do anything, the only thing they can do, they can feel jealousy from you and they can try to pull you down. They can try to pull you down, that just they can do anything to make you give up. But it is you who may give up or who become even stronger, that no, I can even go with the more strength. I'm not going to stop. 24. The need of institutional reforms. When we talk about the institutional reforms, it means institutional reforms are directly connected with the poverty. When the institutions are strong, poverty naturally comes down. Yes, there is need of social entrepreneurship, there is need of more businesses, there is need of more opportunities. But beside them all, we need good institutions. We need reformed institution. We need active institution. We need corruption-free institution. We need the institutions working, functioning properly, systematically, as they really can be supportive to whatever the initiatives are taken. So the importance of institutional reforms cannot be ignored. Point number 25 may be connected to the point number 23, the jealousy one. The people may try to pull you down, but it is you who has to push yourself forward. Now, the one is to surrender and hand over yourself to the person who really want to pull you down. And on the other hand side, become your own strength and push yourself that no, I'm not going to give up. I'm not going to surrender. I'm not going to say, oh, fine, enough is enough. I'm going to become my stronger power, the better power, and I am going to be with more strength. It's a learning we get from the blue sweater through the journey of Jacqueline, who continues even being pulled many times by many people, whether harshness of temperature and so on. But she is the one who is there to push herself, because she understands that she is not only her own strength, she is strength for many others. And this is the case with all of us. Many of us, we are not only struggling only for ourselves, we are struggling for many others who are connected with us. So, whenever the time is there that you feel like giving up, try to give yourself some energy that you are not only struggling war against your own poverty, but you are actually, strength of many others around you. 26. Hope is life. Throughout the journey, you get hope. You get that hope of change. You get that hope of betterment. You get the hope of something good is coming. You get the hope of initiatives. You get the hope of beautiful, things happening with you. So hope is throughout there. Very interesting learning was there. It was a point I got there, that inferiority complex of getting white in color. When Jacqueline sees the big billboards, advertising the whitening creams in Africa, it really, she sees it, more than, I guess, 20, 25 years back. but we still see it here in Pakistan, and we even you turn the Indian channels, you see there as well those whitening creams. So this inferiority complex needs to come to an end. Well, it was a personal learning to me that a thing which was many years back, like I said, 25 years back, she observed there. Still, we see it around us here, and it is one of the, you know, uh, best business. You find hundreds of brands, you know, in the market working with the same theme of whitening your skin. We need to come out of it. We need to work on it. Point number 28. You can learn from everyone. We see Jacqueline asking a lot of questions from a driver of her vehicle when she is in Africa, and how does she increase her knowledge, and how does she come to know the communities in better way. So the learning is not something what may be only and only achieved from people of high intellect, but learning is something what comes from each and every person we are connected with. So I use this tool and I enjoy it, and I was more convinced while reading the blue sweater that how you can communicate with common people, how you can try to know more about them by talking to them, by listening to them. And let me tell you that driver is the best source of information, especially the area he is working, because the driver is the one who is connected with every kind of person, starting from highly educated and going to an uneducated, coming across with a criminal, a thief, a businessman, and so on. So, and throughout he is in traveling, and through his traveling he's keep having more and more information, more and more sharing of things happening around, incidents and all. So a best source of having knowledge from such person called driver. Right, hello there, thanks and welcome. Point number 29, teamwork and leadership skills. Now, a very strong learning that when we are working individually, that may be a little different, because we know that how do we want to do different things. But when we are working in a team, we have to understand that in a team how we have to manage different things, because everyone may not be with the same capabilities, everyone may not be there with the same kind of bend of mind, frequency of mind. So we have to see people around us that and try to adjust ourselves in that team we are working with. And when it comes about a team leader, so then we are more responsible, just like we have the role of a guardian, we have the role of father or mother in family, where we have to somewhere become the forgiving one, the ignoring one, and sometimes we have to be very disciplined one, we have to be the role model. So we get learning from the blue sweater that how teamwork can be carried on, how a good teamwork can be made, and how as a team leader we can work and we can achieve our targets. Number 30, attitude can make many friends. Behavior. How do we behave with the people? It is very important that how do we behave, how is our attitude with the people, because the better behavior bring us more and more friends. We see sometimes we may not like other people, as we cannot expect from everyone to like us, but we have to have good behavior, because good behavior can even convert the people who may not like you to be the liking one. But sometimes some people who even like you may get irritated, may dislike your behavior and go far from you. So we have to work on our behavior. We should have good behavior, and we must have, you know, a nature of forgiving, so we can gather more people, ignore the weaknesses of others, and try to give them what you really want for yourself, so they can convert to be your friends. Point number 31, chance to prove yourself. You, as we deserve a chance to prove ourselves, same way we must give the chance to our team, the people who are working with us, the people who are our friends. They should have also the chance to prove themselves, as a friend, a good friend, to prove themselves as a good worker, to prove themselves as an efficient addition in the team. Point number 32, change the world if you don't like the way it is. Very interesting. Many of us, we do not like many things around us. So, from Jacqueline is the learning that if you do not like the way it is, just change it. Work hard to change it. Take your efforts to change it. So at least you will feel that you have contributed, you have taken your part, you have paid your role, you have played your role. So it's very important that we must contribute in this way. Point number 33, success of people, the achievements of people you are working for become your own strength actually, because when they succeed, you get more confidence, you get more confidence in you, in your vision, in your beliefs, and the things you are working for. And on the other hand side, happiness of people gives you a lot of happiness, a lot of strength, that we see in the blue sweater, that how when that bakery built by a team of African under the leadership of Jacqueline gets successful, so how the happiness is spread and how much energy is received by the leader. And when the microfinance bank is started, how things happen. So the success, the achievement, and the happiness of people you are working for become your own strength. It becomes your power, it becomes your happiness. 34, you love it when you do what you really want to do. Now this is very interesting as well. We already have one discussion, one video on it, that when you are doing what you really want to do, you do it with your whole strength. You do it with your all, potential. You even try to use your all contacts. You try to, make it happen, the successful one. So now it is you who has to check it out, who has to identify, who has to assess yourself that what you really want to do. We see Jacqueline working, in the top organization with the good salary at the early stages and giving up and coming to Africa in the pursuit of her dream. And then from zero to beneficiary to millions of people, it comes all the way, because she has been doing what she really wanted to do. So it's a beautiful learning for all of us that we must see our potentials, we must see our, desires, we must see our dreams, we must see that what we really want to do, and then we should start the journey so we can deliver at the best, rather than, just following the people, seeing them successful may not make you happy. A lot of people ask this question because when they see someone, on a high designation, that how to become. Yes, as a career counselor, it's my duty to tell you, responsibility to share. But on the other hand side, I do like to share that just check it out, you know, do try to contact to yourself as well and ask that what you really want to do, rather than seeing a doctor earning a lot of money or a bureaucrat, having a lot of power, or anybody else, you may or you may not have, that interest within you. So the blue sweater gives us this clear vision. Point number 35, accountability keeps systems growing. Accountability is very, very important thing. We see it. I had a good learning from the system of accountability, whether it's a small organization, it's a big organization, or it is a country. The mechanism of accountability is something keeps us on the right way. It keeps us disciplined one. It keeps us not accountable to the organization, to the system, but to ourselves as well. And accountability is something what is the most important thing for the success of anything, whether it is a social entrepreneurship, whether it is a small bakery, whether it is a small town or a country. Accountability. And nowadays, I guess this is very, very highlighted one in Pakistan nowadays, the matter of accountability. When the newly elected Prime Minister, Mr. Imran Khan, says that no tolerance for corruption and equal accountability. So let's hope for the best for the world as well. But it's a beautiful learning from Jacqueline, that how she develops the mechanism of accountability in the organization. Point number 36, risk taking. The life is name of taking risks. It's not always that you make the feasibilities and you do everything 100%, and then you say that yes, now I'm going to just take a low risk and I'm going to just, take no risk at all and I expect a lot. We see it that sometimes you have to be the risk taker one. After all, if you have to pursue your dreams, it means you are going to take the risk. A girl, an American girl, with a good job as a banker, leaves the job and comes to Africa, thinks to change the world, tells you how one can take the risk in the pursuit of his dreams. Number 37, feeling to be a global citizen. Very interesting. After, even at that time, I guess internet was not that much there, but the teaching from Jacqueline to be a global citizen gives you, more love, more feelings for the people of other continents, other countries, or who are less privileged than you. So you feel for them that how they are living the life and how you can be a supporter, how you can be a contributor as a global citizen. Number 38, learning is a lifelong task. It is very interesting one that learning is a lifelong task. Jacqueline is working in Africa, plans to go for her further studies to Stanford, shows that how important it is to have continuous learning. So it's a very beautiful process. I completely depend on it. That it is a lifelong process which cannot end and which should not end. And I get the motivation from Jacqueline here as well, that when you are thinking to do bigger and bigger things, you need to have the tools for that. You need to have better ways to do the things. You should have, more options to find the solution. We cannot depend on one solution. We should be with the multi solution. We should have, better and better tools to achieve what we have fixed for ourselves. Point number 39, matter. Ideas do matter. Ideas are something what really move the world, and ideas are something what can move the lives. So ideas are the production of different minds. Everyone have different ideas. Some have the ideas for their own life only, while the others they go as Jacqueline globally. Their ideas are not to change their life only. They have the ideas to change the world. So we all must think about it sometime and give time to ideas. We must give time to think. We should think and we should work on ideas. It is very beautiful when I see Jacqueline sitting with the president of Rockefeller Foundation, telling him an idea, and when leaves, she leaves with an offer from the president for starting initial amount for the Acumen Fund, initial investment for the Acumen Fund. So ideas really matter. Ideas really matter. Number 40, why people start growing at certain age. Yes, there can be many reasons that people stop growing at certain age mentally. Physically people are keep growing, but at certain age they stop growing mentally because they stop learning. I believe This is my learning from it. They stop learning, they stop struggling, and they give up. So if you do not do it, I believe you cannot stop growing, because this growth needs to have, continuous learning, continuous struggle, continuous efforts to have a really productive and progressive life. Point number 41. Knowing yourself can truly make us understand others. This is something we can easily understand. Before we try to understand others, we need to understand ourselves. Once we are successful in understanding ourselves, it is very easy to understand others. The one unable to understand itself cannot succeed in understanding others. So we need to give time to ourselves, to listen to us, to understand us, what really we want, what really we need. So we need to talk to ourselves, we need to communicate so we can think for others too. Number 42. Mentors matter. We see a lot of people in the life of Jacqueline, her family, her friends from different countries, from different walks of life, different languages, different religion, different thoughts. A lot of people the loser. But one very useful and very interesting thing is there, that she is the person who finds herself a very smart learner. I see her when she meets, and in the first listening of Professor John Gardner, a professor of emeritus at Stanford University, she goes to his office after his session, sits with him, tells him what she has been doing, tells him what she really wants to do, and then she listens from him, and that bond becomes, the strong one till the professor leaves this world. Very interesting, touching to me, my heart. A mentor really matters. And good mentors are, the blessings of Creator, that who are always there to guide you, to answer you, strengthen you. The second man here she finds, that is Peter Goldmark, the president of Rockefeller Foundation of that time. So these both mentors do contribute to the life of Jacqueline, apart from all other things. So what my learning is here, that mentors matter. We need to have good mentors who can really be of great help, great source of inspiration, great support of learning to our life. And I find that Professor John Gardner is the person who plays a vital role in the life of Jacqueline, because she goes to him wherever she feels like having consultancy, wherever she feels like, she is unable to decide. So mentors matter. We need good mentors because their experience, their wisdom is always open to us. It is always there to help us to keep the things going, to keep moving. 43, you can convince when convince yourself. I'm going to share here Jacqueline when she is with the president of Rockefeller. She has an idea, but now the matter is convincing the president. So you need to be convinced yourself before convincing others. She is very much convinced that in a short time, when she shares the idea with the president, it clicks and he accepts and he says yes. So whenever you think about convincing yourself, convince yourself first, so you can convince in the better way to the world. Point number 44, physical fitness keeps brain fit. We see Jacqueline that she loves running, jogging. So this is something very good. Even I have seen her, few months back, that physically she works and she keeps herself to be fit, which gives the motivation to many people like me who are working through the computers and mobiles and books and papers, that we need to take out time for our physical fitness. We must have some time for walk or jogging, short exercise. Really good one. 46, isolation can be taken as a tool to grow. Like she was in Africa of that time and whole day working and then having isolation in evenings. So she took that isolation into her work, working till late night, doing a lot of things, thinking about ideas and all. So I take it that isolation is somehow is very much needed now, especially when we talk about this internet era. No one can have the isolation if you really don't want, because now it is needed, because there's social media, we have internet, so working 24 hours, so you cannot think about, you have to arrange isolation for you. And this isolation for some time every day is very much needed for a really healthy brain, for a creative brain, for a beautiful brain. We need to have some isolation. It should be taken as a tool to relax yourself, a tool a tool to have a brain that can work, with the more strength. Point number 47, selection of people in your team. You have to finalize your team, whether you are in your daily life or you are in your professional life, because it matters a lot. The right people around you will take you high and high, and the same way wrong people can bring the disaster to you. Now it is you who has to see that how you make the selection of people. So selection of your team matters a lot. Point number 42, 48. You can achieve anything and everything if you really want. This is really quite motivating one throughout you. When you read Jacqueline, you read the blue sweater, you find out that pursuit of your vision, the journey may be tough sometime, rough sometime, hard sometime, seems to be impossible sometime, but believe me that if you really want, you can get whatever you want. And this motivation comes from this story, the inspirational life journey of Jacqueline. 49. Innovation. Innovations are the demand of modern world. See, things are changing. Innovative ideas are coming. Innovative ways are coming to do the things. Renewable energies, right? And artificial intelligence, and so on. So we have to facilitate ourselves with these innovative things, with innovative ideas. We need to work on these innovative things. We learn from the blue sweater that how the Acumen Fund invests in the innovative ideas for the social entrepreneurship, and how the innovations can make lives easier for the people. So innovation is another way, another name of smartness, newness. So we all need to work on it. We cannot be the traditional one. We cannot just continue the way the things were keep going. We have to, go with the modern world. We have to go with the modern technologies. We have to learn about the innovations. We have to go on and make ourselves a better global citizen. The last point, it went quite long. I guess this is the longest video I have uploaded or gone with the YouTube. Number 50, you can bend the history, you can make your own history by your vision, courage, and commitment. When you really want to do something really great, as Jacqueline is doing, as a lot of people are doing, so you have to understand one thing, that you can really do it. Tell yourself, make yourself understand, get together all the courage, clear your vision, make a vision, strong mission to achieve it, and just do it. All the learning I shared with you from the blue sweater by Jacqueline Novogratz, these are to me really very smart, very beautiful, and very, very helpful. And definitely, they are going to be of great help to all of you as well if you really listen to them carefully. And I would again recommend and suggest you all to get this, the blue sweater, the inspirational journey of Jacqueline Novogratz, and read it and share more learning with us you find, because you will enjoy more with more stories. I had to kept it, shorter one, but it not that much shorter, but whatever I could. So I want you to go through it and share, the more learning with all of us. At the end, thank you very much, dear Jacqueline, for because I am the blessed one who had chance to listen to you, who is privileged to learn from you in good society reading at the Acumen Fellowship. Blessed to have you some time with you at different events, and really inspired reading you. Thank you very much to you. I am planning, and I would definitely share a request with you when we meet next time. I would like to conduct your interview on the basis of same the blue sweater. So some more sharing can be there with our viewers. Thank you very much to you all. Looking forward to see you all very soon again with another video. Please do subscribe our channel, share with all the friends who really love learning and sharing. Thank you very